Hello everyone, PS Man here, and welcome to my next review game. About to do is called Sonic the Hedgehog on PlayStation 3 already. Most importantly, what's to do is to fun down instead. I've been playing this game for a while already. It kind of seems they're up and downs instead, you know. This game is just improved like play online, and there's also 1 and 2 player modes in this game. And the downside is like you play as 3 players like Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog, and of course a different kind of hedgehog, but I don't remember that. Well, this is a game review, people. Well, I'm about to do and play that game of Sonic the Hedgehog on PlayStation 3 already. And this is the worst disaster game ever. Watch how I'm about to play this game, and I'm about to boil my blood already, and watch this. Well, if you ever played and this really takes the downside of Sonic the Hedgehog. It's just like you already play the game, it's more speed than this. This is also the fastest games ever for Sonic the Hedgehog on PlayStation 3. Downside is like the one you play on the Sega Dreamcast. It's like the same thing as this one instead. But let's get to the bottom line and let's play how we do it already, shall we? And the real downside, and you get pissed off, is games that will make you want to kill yourself. Actually, if you play Sonic, the first one, well, this is just like it's on 3D already, but it's not included on 3D. This includes a lot more adventure than also in the flashbacks already. They built more Sonic games than we thought instead. And the downside is, like the spin dash, you kill bad guys around here. It's way cooler than that. But let me take you something like this. The upper loop things you run into, it's just like, it's just sliding, and the normal speed you get, and it's a downside too. Sometimes you have to slow down normal, or there's also the one from the killer whale instead. And there's more instantly. Sometimes you slide down the waters, you also pick up speed, and the normal speed instead. Now, I don't know why you have to stop there. And, including you pass the level, this is get really speed instead. It's like an object gets closer to you, and you can't keep it up. Just like if you get hit by something, you lose instead. And also, you get in the water, you lose, and you die. And once to the flying debris anywhere crossing by, when you get hit debris, you lose. And you get hit something before, you get hit something by a close truck wall or something, you die. Sometimes you catch speed and you fall, you die. What kind of lame story is this? And it's going worse. And you play Tails only, like from the original, how she flies. Well, what is this? What kind of ridiculous rings are these? And she can throw rings too. Just like how she kills enemies. What kind of lame shit is this anyway? As a matter of fact, when she flies, she doesn't fly like a normal person, like a red fox. Actually, she sucks. And sucks the other player the most, too. When you play Tails like this is just harmony ways to play with her. And as simple as that, she has the voice of a girly, too. But don't count on that instead. And her storyline gets a little messy too.
And boring.
And also she collects rings and throws at the enemies at the same time. But don't count on her instead. But there's more. You can play as also Knuckles too instead. And the real shit shocker is like Sonic also got the jet glider instead. How he fires too. Man, I don't like similar like this. When he gets hit, he goes under the water and that's it. And there's more worse. Sometimes when there's debris coming, the worst thing when there's debris, this camera is kind of bad instantly. When you can't see it, it hits you already. The camera view is kind of lame. And there's also Silver Sonic as a sidekick instead. Well, he's a cool guy. He can do this instead. And the download sucks too. Sometimes the storyline gets a little boring. And also, I don't want this information. And the download takes about 15 seconds to do this. Sometimes they talk about same old bullshit. We don't need this. And also, Shao the Hedgehog also plays too. And it takes like the same thing. When you pass every level, it takes about 15 seconds to download. The download actually sucks instead. Really sucks. That part is, it's like when you talk to a person, he says you to complete the mission instead. Mission? Let's get to the boring part. I don't want to hear the boring part instead. I'm just trying to play the game here, you know? I don't want to hear the same old crap again. And I hate the download, like, if you have to wait for this, deal with it, you know? I don't care. Well, let's go play again. And besides, the controls are a little bit confused instead. And let's go to the graphics already. Take you to the graphics instead. Well, the graphics look awesome instead on PlayStation 3 already. But not the including about the characters, you know? Well, but don't matter about the graphics instead. Matter about this game instead, you know? Sometimes Sega's screwing this up instead, you know? Like the villains instead. And also, the real shit shocker, Sega, control this instead. We don't want to see the graph. We're only trying to concentrate about the game instead. 2. Sound music. Why? Well, the sound music is kind of great, but it's just like it's playing different characters, like the ones from music from the old Sonic the Hedgehog games. And the sound effects waves, but I don't get to prove the wave effects about the springs and the rings too, and the spin dash and the rings too. And what about the foxy tail instead?
And speed.
Well, you get the idea. And also, and the sound voices, man, the sound voices is kind of like characters instead. Well, actually, I don't got no problems with the voices instead. The only thing voices are is like the one from the girl, human girl, and Dr. Eggman instead. Dr. Eggman is kind of like a villain to me, you know. He connects the princess of this land, and the cool voices of Shao the Hedgehog, and Sonic the Hedgehog, and the 3 characters in there trying to save the day. And one more thing, people. It's like whoever played the voice of Knuckles instead, I have no idea. Jason Griffin plays as the voice of Shao and Sonic the Hedgehog at the same time. And don't forget the real shit shocker is about the one from Tails instead. The only thing is like the places like villains instead. And also, you can get points, too. What points? The one you beat up the game instead. And also, you beat up the game, you also get a bonus collection things, like videos and stuff. But I want to improve that instead. This Sonic, the Hedgehog, the game on PlayStation 3, it's kind of way awesome in that, but don't get to prove, like, the storyline gets boring. And the Adventure Time gets boring too. And the real thing right here, and on the end, when their friends get kidnapped instead by Dr. Eggman too. Let's hear Jason Griffin's voice instead too. Why does Jason Griffin do this? Because like, the only thing that Sonic talks about is like a teenage mutant like that. But it's not. And also, I'm going to give this Sonic the Hedgehog some credit, but I don't see the downside by it. But it's kind of the worst speeds ever, you know?
The worst game ever.
Yeah, it's definitely the worst speed ever. I can rent this and buy this again, you know? But I love it. Well, you know, I'm going to give this credit already, but later on I'm not about to do this before I pass it, you know? And the downside is the speed, it kind of sucks. Overall,
Or rent this game or buy it. Kind of glitchy game, doesn't it?
I'll blast it to smithereens instead. I give this rating is 10.
A 2 out of 10.